John McPhee, you're wanted for a meeting. You look at me and you're biting me. What's going on? Okay, now you're just biting me. And clawing me, I guess. Yes, you're very cute, squirrel. What if I painted that? That'd be a little bit sad. No, this was a very young child. I love abstract expressionism and folk art and all kinds of simple art styles. But it's actually great. The more I look at this, the more I'm like, that's a great painting. There's so many interesting elements to it. It's as textured as David Hockney. And there's a flat around the edges, you know, the colors aren't shaded. This is probably what gives it its style. Seems like a kid was working through something here, you know? I mean, yeah, sometimes colors do end up muddy when you're having fun experimenting and stuff. I don't remember which one of my kids made this. Yeah, when you get kid art, you're kind of stuck with it. But like, I do like it. I only keep like the best stuff. Well, that's not true. I keep the stuff that, you know, I don't keep everything. That was the anodyne, so maybe rivers are a motif for my kids. That's good. And trees. These are both from Sonora, though. I think Willow helped in that tri-panel one. And it was inspired by something she saw online, but I don't care. I think that's great. Folk culture is magpie culture. This one's fresh, though. I think that's all Sonora. It's really cool. Yeah, I was really into the peacock motif for a while. She's performed at a women's music festival when she was 9, a whole set of original songs, and dressed like a peacock, and all in blue and green, and had the stage decorated. It was really cool. She even made many of her instruments. Everyone was like, "Who's this kid?" And this is the Sonora one. It's like Rothko meets Lisa Frank. I love it. And once you know Rothko, you can always make an art reference. Just anytime you see a horizontal band's cover, something like Rothko. Here's one that I'm kind of like, well, I guess I'm stuck with this. But it's funny to me. It's Anodyne quoting a Church's lyric. In her like early teen days, I believe. Collage art. I once read an interview with a top collage artist whose name now escapes me. And she said that the number one secret is use more black, because that way you have more divisions between all the elements and everything feels more distinct and crisp. She had a lot of reasons, and I was like, yeah, use more black. I like this. I can tell her some imagery from old high fructose magazines, which is a magazine the whole family kind of loves. I always pick it up when I have a chance. Underground art of the weirdest sort, with a certain polished ethos. Ethos? Aesthetic. Yeah, Sonora was real prolific there for a minute. This was a cool series my kids did and gave me as a gift. This artist, local artist, had gotten infamous, first famous, then infamous, because he got in a lot of legal trouble for dripping these beautiful rainbows. I know at least one other artist assisted him around town too to make these. I've talked with both of them. The originals that I'm talking about. Here's one. Crayons broke off during the last move, but you know, works. Whatever is, yeah. My kids had gone with me as I photographed all the different dripping rainbows around town and got involved in the art community, you know, kind of around them a little bit. It was just about like a symbol of, like, it was not like an LGBT thing or anything like that. He said, I don't care if people take it that way, but it's more about like just a rainbow, a beautiful bit of color when you look up at this drab abandoned building here or there. The most famous one was on the side of the Anasazi building at 5th and Central in Albuquerque, New Mexico, keeping that word alive. In history now, the Anasazi are now called the Ancestral Pueblo, but because the Anasazi was a Navajo word. Anasazi was a Navajo word that was used to define these ancestral Puebloan people. And the ancestral Puebloan people are like, hey, don't let them choose our name. Our enemies choose our name, you know? Even the word Navajo, that was from another tribe's language, I forget which. I thought it meant those who farm the ditches, something like that. Most Navajo people I've met prefer the term Dene, which means the people in Dene, in Navajo. Digressions upon digressions. Anyway, this guy got arrested for these dripping rainbows and for just putting his studio art on the same Flickr page as all his street art. Charged with like 60 counts of vandalism. Even though his vandalism, quote unquote, was typically on abandoned buildings, and it was like art pieces, and it was beautiful. I mean, the rainbows were great. They kind of brought the town together. They created tourist spots wherever they were. People were getting out, especially at that Anasazi building one and at this other one over near Broadway and Central. My kids knew that I was into that, and they gave me these 3 panels that they made themselves by like putting crayons on canvases and blasting them with a hairdryer. It's great. You spruce up my walls. I think Willow did that, but I don't know. Could have been Hagen, my son. Beats me. There they are. This is a weird family joke. We used to have this calendar that we got for free from somebody. It was a magnet calendar on the fridge, and it said, "Tried and true recipes to make it a great year." And somebody was doing this pose. It became this family thing, like a gang sign almost. It's so funny. One time my son was doing a performance at the Highland Theater, a very brief chapter where he was in the performing arts, and he stopped during a musical number and did that pose, made eye contact with me. I lost it. It was so funny. Yes, it has been put to music by them. Painted art by the kids. That U is actually really cool. I think that's anodized. It's a landscape. That's really interesting. Seeing yourself upside down in the world. It's thematically rich. It's good. You know, art is art wherever you find it. Even if young children make it, there's genius in young children. Yeah, I love these painted records. They look great. I think those are anodized too. Maybe stores. And this cool painted clipboard. I think that's. And I don't know. I should use that. Get organized. Oh, that's a good one. That's my favorite of the records, I think.